children to do. This year the Queen Quet coming to Hunter live from this year Gullah Geechee TV Nayshun News for the opening of the new Harmonies exhibit. What done come to the Beaufort Public Library from the Smithsonian. Now Hunter children who the kind of yada Beaufort and thing like that. Hunter knows the music, the one that we ting all through this year part of the Gullah Geechee Nation. So Hunter children care for us yeti but the spiritual without yeti but we down here, you see. So it make them so that this year thing come here now but study all these year thing we call roots music. Now where else Hunter go but to get to the root? Now Hunter children always hear me say Hunter must take care of the root for heal the tree. Well, come here and join we as we go through this year exhibit, New Harmonies. Now the New Harmonies exhibit is not just about the spirituals, it's not just about our culture and our story, but it's about all of American music, and the root of it takes you back in time in many cases. You have the buttons and actions and interact and feel that vibration that sometimes now, I know we love our MP3 players and our CD players and all of that stuff, but sometimes you really need to go back and hear some of this that started out from the churches and the bush arbor, the brush arbor, the folk music. We had the banjos and the guitars. You have to feel this thing. And so when we talk about harmony, it's not just about putting people together and having them sing a certain way, but how does the spirit connect to this thing that we call music. And so we're so proud that here in Beaufort, South Carolina, at the Beaufort Public Library, we have the Smithsonian New Harmonies exhibit. Now it's going to run until February the 4th, 2012, and guess what? You don't have to just come to the library now only to walk through and look at pictures or to take a book off the shelf. There are going to be plenty of programs where you get to also interact with musical artists, learn about the history of things, even some of the paintings that you all have seen over and over again that depict even us shouting. Come and learn the story behind it all. Do not miss it. And guess what? The best price of all you'll ever find is free. Yeah, free to come and join your voice in new harmony. Join your spirit in new harmony right here at the Beaufort Public Library. So on this episode, we're going to take you in to just the beginnings of how this exhibit came here to Beaufort, South Carolina, and what you'll get just a little taste of if Hunter come here and join we. Now Hunter children know this year the Queen Quet, head pon the body of this year Gullah Geechee Nation, and pon this year station, Hunter know if you did with we, then Hunter going know that this year the what going on. Well, how are the children to do? This year the Queen Quet coming to Hunter Live. One more again for this year Gullah Geechee TV Nayshun News. Now we are at the New Harmonies exhibit, the opening of this exhibition from the Smithsonian here at the Beaufort Public Library. And I am so glad that I actually got someone from out of the stacks, because my buddies that work here at the library, you would think they were books themselves because they kind of stay in between the stacks most of the times. But I actually got Amanda Brewer out of the stacks and in front of the camera so that we can talk about this project, because she has been working very hard, diligently to get this Smithsonian exhibit here to Beaufort, South Carolina. So how you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing wonderful now that this exhibit is actually here in Beaufort.
I am sure you look like you're glowing now that it's finally arrived and it's unpacked and it's up. So now tell me, how did this exhibit come to be here? Because I've been in Beaufort just about all my life, and I haven't heard many times of a Smithsonian exhibit coming to our county, much less to the public library. So how did you go about getting it here?
Well, 2 years ago, the Humanities Council of South Carolina in Columbia put out a call to any cultural center in the state of South Carolina to put together a grant proposal to why they should be chosen to host this exhibit. And so we got together, we put our proposal together, and the Humanities Council chose us, along with 11 other towns, to be a host site of New Harmonies.
Excellent. So then we can say we won
That's
that
right.
challenge, right?
That's right.
So yes, so it's great because this is coming in right at the tail end of the Robert Smalls exhibit that's right down the block at the Verdier House. So it's a good time, holiday season, for people to say, well, we don't have a lot that we can do that's free.
That's right.
And that's also educational to bring out the family. But now folks might say, well, New Harmonies, and they're looking at the things behind us, and they might start saying, well, is Lead Belly from Beaufort? Is, you know, is any of these people behind them from Beaufort? What is in this exhibit that you feel really connects you in terms of American roots music to Beaufort County's history, though?
Well, Beaufort is an eclectic town. We know that.
Sure is.
There's people who have lived here. There's people who move here.
Right.
So our musical tastes are just as varied as the people that live here. So having said that, the music of Bill Monroe might still be connecting to somebody that lives here in Beaufort County. But I understand what you're trying to get at. And there are pieces of this exhibit that tie directly to Beaufort County. Right. Especially what's coming to mind is a painting called That Old Plantation.
Yes.
It's even has a book about it. And here's something interesting. The Smithsonian didn't even know who the artist was.
Is that right?
But your librarians do know.
See.
And we were able to school the Smithsonian on the artist. His name is John Rose, and he's actually from the Beaufort district.
Right.
So he depicted his plantation as well as the people who were living and working there.
And tell them which plantation that was.
I believe it was Coosall.
Right. And so a lot of folks who are from Beaufort County area, y'all know what we done talk about and things like that. All the Hunter Chillin with there from Coosall who to watch the program and things like that. Yeah, Hunter Chillin got something with D in this exhibit, so Hunter could come here and see what we done talk about and things. Because no, we're not going to show you the painting on the show. So, but
that's right. You have to come here.
You got to come here and see it. But yes, a lot of people have seen this painting. They've seen the folks out shouting in the painting. They see the calabash instruments and all of that. And then I know throughout the exhibit there are a whole lot of other instruments that are in cases and in places that are here. And I noticed there are little buttons in the exhibit too. But can anybody come in here and pick on any of the fiddles or do any of that too if they bring the children?
Well, sure. There's a banjo as part of the exhibit, and it's completely exposed. You can play and manipulate that and try your hand at being a banjo player. There's also a diddley bow, which is a blues instrument, kind of made up of a piece of metal and a can opener. And you just try your hand at playing slide guitar the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way, right? And so it's truly an interactive exhibition.
Exactly. There's also a listening station, so every artist that is mentioned, every song that is mentioned, at the end of your tour or midway through the tour or anytime you feel like it, you can put on a pair of headphones, press a button, and listen to that style of music.
Okay, so that means if you were into Ma Rainey's blues, which is part of this, you could put on the headsets and hear her singing.
That's correct.
Right? And so that this way you could just feel that energy. As I was saying to people, and especially with music, it's something that you don't want to just hear. You want to be able to feel the music as well. And so I know that part of what you've done in terms of curating somewhat this exhibition for the library was programming as well. So when does the programming really start, and is it going to go through every week that the exhibit is here until February?
Well, opening the week before Christmas was a challenge, but that was the date that they gave us. So the majority of the programming begins in January. However, you are doing a program, a very special program for us on Tuesday, December 20th, here at the library in the evening. And that's going to be a really cool celebration. I'm looking forward to hearing you and the celebration of the Gullah Geechee culture through music and dance.
Oh, yes.
And we know it's going to be a hip-hop and good time.
You know that's right. Now, see, I'm trying to keep it down, though, for them, you know, since it's a library, because you all know how I can do, so I'm going to try to tone it down. It's been difficult figuring out how I'm going to do this between the stacks, but I got it. I think I got it. But you know what? The spirit hit me. That's just it. So definitely we're going to have a good time, but I'll be back again at the end too. Yes, to open up Black History Month, y'all. Black History, African Heritage Month. Now, y'all know for me, every day is a day to celebrate Black history. This don't change, you know, all year. So, but February, I'm going to be right back here at the library. I'm going to be opening up. Actually, we're going to be at the Technical College of the Low Country.
Yeah, we had to move it to a bigger location.
To a bigger venue, exactly. And for many of you, you've seen the Technical College of the Low Country here on our program with the Perlo program. And so that is a historic place as well. That is the site of Mather School here in Beaufort. So if you come in February, if you say, wow, this is too soon, I can't get there for next Tuesday, and you want to meet me in February, this is what you do. Come to Beaufort, you come to the library, you tour the exhibition, you go to St. Helena Island, you eat some food at Gullah Grub, you come back across into Beaufort, you go to some of the shops, you spend some money, then you come on around to Mather School campus, tour, get your shots, historic site, all the markers, and then you come in the building, and then Yeti me to crack my teeth like this and thing like that. And got plenty of things for 100 children where ain't going to happen next Tuesday when we come up in February too, you see? And so it's going to bring us from the beginning to the end, tie it all together, and celebrate who we are. And so this whole exhibit is such a celebration of who America is. Because I think that if there's anything that ever unified people, it is music.
right.
You know, and so I think it's a very powerful exhibit, and I'm glad that you all had the insight to go ahead and answer the call for those applications, much less you must have done a stellar job because we got it. And so now when the whole programming goes on, the exhibition is going on, how are you going to have the rest of the regular visitors interacting in the library? I mean, you know, people are saying, well, wow, it's a music exhibit? It's going to happen in the public library? Isn't that going to be noisy? You know, people are probably wondering that right now. So how will you be dealing with all of that?
Well, we have a special room set aside for the entire exhibit, so you don't have to worry about if you push a button disturbing someone else who may or may not be studying. But also, I got to tell you, as you know, libraries are no longer places where you get shushed anymore.
There you go.
We are full community centers where people interact on a day-to-day basis. So this is a perfect exhibit for a public library because it is putting education and entertainment together.
Together, see? And that's the difference. And so a lot of us who grew up just being in the stacks, just like Amanda and all of us in the stacks, it's time to come out and definitely be out, be involved, bring your family, and like I said before, it is the best ticket in town. It is free. So you can come out, enjoy the day, interact, don't worry about being shh at the library, but come on, sing with us, join us with a little harmony at New Harmonies. Thanks so much, Amanda. Glad that you joined me here on Gullah Geechee TV. And then, Hunter Chiller need to come to Beaufort and join we for some harmony. Peace.